All right. I'm live. I will bring up my live broadcast dashboard. Content. Live. Hello. There it is. Okay. View in live control room. That's what I want. Good. Exciting. All right. Do I sound good? Content. Yes. Very nice. Very good. Okay. I'm gonna do some fewest moves. So I'll open my book, my scrap paper. Nice blank page. And I will get my attempt started. I'm gonna be using some alg.cubing.net pages to show what I'm doing, sort of kind of explain my thought process. I'm not sure how I'm gonna work it with Ness, but I'll figure it out. So got my insertion stickers ready, cubes, got my pen, keep my keyboard out of the way, and go. Not quite. Now go. Good. Bring the scramble into alg.cubing. Here's my scramble sheet. Okay. Scramble matches the image. Alright, so it's got some good cross options for block building CFOP stuff. 1, 2, 3. And first I'll just count the bad edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4. Just 4 bad edges on this orientation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 8 bad edges in that orientation. So I'll go white top, green front. Have 4 bad edges. So I can solve those bad edges with U prime dB. That's my first EO. U prime dB. I can also do it with U prime dB prime. So the way you find those bad edges is by holding the cube in the orientation you want. And a good edge is like, so these two are good edges, these 4 are all good edges, because they have the top or bottom color on the front or the back for E-slice edges, and the top for the U and D layer edges. This edge here is bad because it has the top or bottom color on the side. So 1, 2, 3, and this one's bad because this orange is over here and this blue is over here, so it's flipped. It's probably not a good explanation. EO is a difficult thing to figure out. So I've got 2 options for edge orientation. After U prime dB, I have 4 edges, 1, 2, 4 corners. 4 edges, 4 corners with L prime. That becomes 2 edges, 4 corners, which is pretty good. So U prime DB, L prime is a good RZP from that. So 4 moves to RZP is pretty good for me. So now I just kind of play around with it. U prime L2. Solving these last couple is always difficult. Into domino reduction. That wasn't a very efficient DR, but that's okay because I'm not using that straight away. I'll check some other DRs and some other EOs to see what I can find. And then I get a VPAM at the end so that solution has parity. U prime D, B prime, L prime here gives me 2 edges, 3 corners, which is not so good. Because then I either need to misorient one of the corners or something else. U prime, L prime gives 2 corners, 2 edges. D prime, L prime gives 6 corners, 2 edges. So none of those are really good. So I'll just do a solve the cube. So what I'm looking for is the number of edges that are not in a domino reduction state. So if I put U prime D B here, I'm looking for corners that are not oriented, so don't have yellow or white on top or bottom. So 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 good corners means 4 bad corners. And edges, E layer edges, I'm not looking at the E slice, I'm just looking at the E layer edges that are in the U or D layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do L prime here, this takes 2 of those bad edges into the E slice, which makes them good. So all 4 good on here and 2 on the bottom, which means 2 edges, 4 corners. And if we count a solved cube with 1 turn on it, we have 4 corners and 2 edges wrong. So we basically set that up to 1 move. So that's what I've got so far. That's my best EO RZP combination. Now I'm going to check the inverse scramble. I'll duplicate this tab, put the scramble here, invert it, and put it back in the setup. Normally I would just read this backwards. So the way you invert moves is whichever face it is, you start at the end and invert whether it's a prime or not. 2 double moves, half turns don't do anything. So here it's at the end it's F, you start with F prime, U, R, U prime, L, D2, L2, U prime, B2, U, etc. Or you can just write down the inverse. Now I'm seeing if I have any better EOs on this inverse scramble. So the location of all the bad edges is what I'm looking for here. And these are in a worse location that I can't solve with 3 moves like on the normal scramble. So I think I'm just going to stick to the normal scramble. If I was Jaden McNeil, or Kale Shun, or Chong Wen, or anyone else who's good at FMC, Tom Nelson, I would check more EOs, but I think for this one I'm just going to stick to U prime DB on the normal scramble. So, U prime DB L prime gives me 4 corners and 4 edges. They're not set up, 4 corners, 2 edges. They're not set up in a very comfortable way. So if I U prime L2, if I do U prime L2, I make this column, which is got an E-slice edge with 2 corners which are pointing in opposite directions. That's a column, and I make this pair. The hard part about having a column pre-made and also a pair is that you need to get this last corner in, which is really quite difficult. So L2U. Nope. Yeah. So I could do U R2. U prime L2. U prime L2. D prime L2 U2 R. So that's not an efficient DR, but it is a DR, which is better than what I have now, which is no DR. D2 R2. Nope. DU F2 D prime U R2 U2 R2 F2 R2 U prime R2, and that's 5 corners with no parity, which is pretty good. So everything but 5 corners. That's probably not very efficient, so what I'm going to do is I'll write down that domino reduction as a backup. U prime D B L prime, and then I had U R2, U prime L2, U prime L2. D R2 D2 R. The way domino reduction works, you can do lots of different things. So you can actually you can move your solution around. Hold on. Okay. You can change whether some moves are... So some, like R and R prime at the end, is completely interchangeable. So you can switch that with switch an R with an R prime. There are some more moves in that DR that I could switch and do opposite directions to get different things after domino reduction, and possibly an easier solution. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's a 14 move domino reduction, which is pretty average for me, and I'll keep looking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to the inverse scramble. So the way I do that is I have these U prime D B L prime as I've done on the normal scramble. I'm going to go over the inverse scramble, and before the scramble I'm going to do those backwards. So L, B prime, D prime, U. Which gives me a very interesting case. A very interesting case. So the column is actually pre-made on the inverse scramble. So U prime, D, B, L prime, open bracket for inverse notation, D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. So that's domino reduction in 8, 9, 10, no, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 moves, which is really quite nice for me. But it looks a lot worse than my last one. It's got a lot less blocks. Since I don't use half turn reduction, that's important to me. Oh, but there's ways of making blocks in this DR. Okay. Okay. Okay, that gives me 2E, which is pretty good. So now I can switch back to the normal scramble by doing. So if I do D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. It doesn't work. Okay, so sometimes this happens where it doesn't work at all. And that means you've written something wrong. Which means I probably forgotten a move, and instead of a 10 move domino reduction, it'll be an 11 move domino reduction. D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. Okay, so that's actually perfect and should have worked fine. So something's wrong here, but I'm not sure what. This is a completely different DR case. Something strange is afoot. So, L, B prime, D prime, U. Alright, so this is quite strange. Because this should 100% work. I'm doing it on the actual cube and I don't know why it's not working here, so I'm just going to close that. And go, if I... D2, no, not D2. L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, D2. So that gives me DR. So that is a 10 move domino reduction. I don't know why it's not working on the inverse, but that's okay. So now I'll just play around with block building and try to solve as much as I can, basically. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it on the inverse, but I'm not sure. So L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, V2. L prime. What happens if I do L here instead? It doesn't solve much. It does do that. D prime B2 solves some things. D prime. Okay, just D prime. R2, B2, L2. Okay, so this has parity, because two of my edges are swapped, and they shouldn't be. Because algorithms that solve corners and edges simultaneously are significantly harder. So okay, I'll go back into the domino reductions. So L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, D2, scramble. U prime, D, B, L prime, D prime? No, L2, D prime. LD, yeah, LD prime. So if I'll cross out this L prime, I'll go L. D prime. R2, B2, L2. 14 moves and I've only got a 2x2, which is not amazing. Alright. Alright, so the reason this situation is not good is because the situation that I'm getting into has parity, which means that two edges and two corners need to be swapped, which is annoying because those algorithms are a lot harder. So if I can get into a situation where I can build enough blocks to be happy without getting parity, this will make it a lot easier. So I'll switch here after the D. After the D prime, I'll go D, L prime, B prime, D prime, U. Then I'll do the inverse scramble. F prime, U, R, U prime, L prime, D2, L2, U prime, B2, U, F2, D, F2, U prime, F2, U, F, U prime, B2, R, B prime, L, B, U2, F prime, U, R. And then I'll do the moves I have on inverse, D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. What happens if I do L prime here instead? Nothing important. Okay. This doesn't do anything amazing. Does give me a couple of options though. B2, D2, F2. There's just some things solved. I'm doing okay for time. I'm seeing a lot of difficult stuff on this scramble that I could work with if I was smarter. L2, U, F2. Okay. Is that timing device approved by the WCA delegate? Caden? Quiet. It's not. This isn't official attempt. You know that. I know that. And I am the WCA delegate. If I can improve whatever timing device I like, Caden. But no, this isn't an official attempt. You know that. You're not silly. Really not sure what I can do on this scramble. On this distr. D2 solves this block. D from B2 maybe? What about HTR? How far am I from HTR? What can I do with corners? B2? No. Alright, I've lost my state now, so that's cool. Very cool. Alright, so now I'll just solve it and go back to where I was. Okay. Switching back doesn't seem to be a good idea, and I'll switch back after my blocks. So L2, B2, R2, D, L prime, B prime, D prime, U, inverse scramble. U, F, U prime, B2, R, B prime, L, B, U2, F prime, U, R. D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. This is a bit better. This is a bit better. D2, R2, D prime, B2. They both give 6 corners, but 6 corners is better than parity. Oh no, they're not. No, it's not. This is 3 commutators for 6 corners. So for 6 corners, you can have 2 cycles or 3 cycles. You're more likely to have 2 cycles. No, you're more likely to have 3 cycles. Because they can be 2 swap, 2 swap, 2 swap. What is DR, Cave Jam? Okay, DR is domino reduction. Let me go get my domino cube. A domino cube is a 3x3x2. So if I checkerboard this for you, it's a 3x3x2. So basically, domino reduction is a method where you reduce a 3x3x3 to a 3x3x2 by having opposite colors on each side. Like this. So you got white and yellow, and then all scrambled on the other sides. So you basically reduce the cube to a state where it can be solved with only R2, L2, B2, F2, UD class moves. Which, the way it's described in the DR guide by Tommaso Raposio, I believe, or Sebastiano Tronto, one of them made one made the other. But the way it's described is making the cube look nicer so it can be solved more easily, which I think is a brilliant way of describing it. So L2, B2, R2, D, L prime, B prime, D prime, U, inverse scramble, L prime, B2, L2, U prime, B2, U, F2, D, F2, U prime, F2, U, F, U prime, B2, R, B prime, L, B, U2, F prime, U, R, and then the inverse moves, D2, R2, U prime, R2, U, L. Is that actually good? Yes, domino reduction is actually good. It doesn't seem like it would be good, but it's really good. Domino reduction is the first step in Jaden McNeil's world record average in every single solve. Jaden uses domino reduction and then half turn reduction, where you reduce it even further to only double moves, so you have domino reduction on every axis. D2, R2. Five corners. Now I need to remember how I did that. The hard part about FMC is messing with the cube, and then going back and figuring out what you did to solve it that well. Two B2 R2 D L prime B prime D prime U U prime L prime B2 L2 U prime B2 U F2 D F2 U prime F2 U F U prime B2 E prime L B U2 F prime U R B2 R2 U prime R2 U L. Good. I'm very glad that worked, because if it didn't, I would I feel like when the cube's in a state of HTR, I wouldn't be able to solve it with double moves. Okay, so with HTR, the meta is to solve your original domino reduction layers. So literally LBL, pretty much. Or just solve as much as you can. And then have, okay, I've got 4 corners here, which is not fun, but doable. You have what's called a leave slice. So you have everything except like a 3 cycle like this. And most of the time, the way HTR works is you can actually go back through your solution and solve and change some moves to wide moves. Just shuffle some stuff around to solve that in less than 2 moves, less than 2 extra moves than what you've already done. Often it'll be 0 moves or even save moves, which is crazy, but you have to learn every single corner case for domino reduction, which is annoying. But that's the only reason that I don't do HTR. It's because the corner cases are hard. So I did D2 R2. Yes. D2 B2 U D prime, no, U R2 U prime D prime. Ooh, 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 that cancels. Ooh, that cancels moves. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's really nice. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 move to 5, 22 moves to 5 corners. D prime D cancels, 21, no, 20. U prime cancels to U2, 19. Woo! That's cool. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Okay, never mind. Could probably shuffle it around to make it work. Let's just go 22 for now, because I don't think it actually does cancel moves, which is okay. So now, I'll write down my skeleton. So, yeah, it's the end and the end that cancels. Yeah, so that's 22, which is fine. 22 to 5 corners is good. So, my skeleton is U prime D B L D prime R2 B2 L2 D U R2 U prime B2 D2 R2 D2 L prime U prime R2 U R2 D2. So which does give 5 corners. Nice. Now, I start on insertions. I've got 20 minutes to go. So I do something called RNIS, which means reverse normal inverse scramble switch. What type of skeleton are you writing? Yes. A skeleton is most of a solve. So something like this, where it's almost done, but there's a few things to go. Which, in this case, is 5 corners. So, what I do now is I will go back through the solution, starting here, and I will do all of this, and then all of this, and I will come back to here, basically swapping the scramble and the solution, until I get to a state so I've just done my solution, and then the scramble. Oh no. Which I think I messed up. Yeah, I did. This is why time management is important, because sometimes you just do the wrong moves. C6 skeleton joke, yes, very funny, hilarious. U prime V G. Nope. Okay. So I can do U2 L D prime L prime U2 L D L prime, which doesn't solve anything. So what I'm looking for is a commutator that will solve as much as I can while cancelling preferably this U prime, which is unlikely given where the pieces are in this state. But there's also a D, so if I swap the U prime and D, it could be D U prime, and a D prime would cancel. No, that's still 4 corners. B2? No. Okay, so this doesn't work. None of these insertions are good. So I will solve the cube and try the next one. And sneeze. Next spot. U prime D, that's not going to cancel anything, we checked. After this D, that's probably also not, it might. So, B, L, D prime, R2, B2, L2, D, U, R2, U prime, B2, D2, R2, D2, L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, D2, R prime, U prime, F, U2, B prime, L, B, R prime, B2, U, F prime, U prime, F2, U, F2, D prime, F2, U prime, B2, U, L2, D2, LU, R prime, U prime, F. U prime, D. You have to complete the loop, complete the cycle. L2, no. L prime, no. So B doesn't solve anything, B prime doesn't solve anything, and now I start again. Now I get a tissue. Next. L, D prime, R2, B2, L2, DU, R2, U prime, B2, D2, R2, D2, L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, D2, R prime, U prime, F. U2, B prime, L prime, B, R prime, B2, U, F prime, U prime, F2, U, F2, D prime, F2, U prime, B2, U, L2, D2, LU, R prime, U prime, F, U prime, D, B. L doesn't do anything. B doesn't do anything. There's R2. There's R2. R2 B prime. R2 B. L2 B prime. No. Never mind. Okay. D prime. No. No. No, there's nothing good here. So now I keep going. D prime R2 B2 L2 DU R2 U prime B2 D2 R2 D2 L prime U prime R2 U R2 D2 L prime U L prime B2 U L prime U2 U prime F2 U D prime F2 U prime B2 U L2 D2 LU L prime U prime F U prime D B L D prime. Nope, not D prime. So okay, this looks more promising. Doesn't cancel anything, but it's a pretty good commutator. D layer is like misaligned. Yeah, that's because it's in the middle of a turn. That's just what alg.cubing.net does. Cube picture looks weird, yes. So with the skeleton you do the scramble, then solution, not the other way around. Yeah, but this is RNS, I'm looking for insertions. So, now, R2, B2, L2, DU, R2, U prime, B2, D2, R2, D2, L prime, U prime, R2, U, R2, D2, R prime, U prime, F, U2, B prime. R prime, B2, U, F prime, U prime, G, U, F, G, G prime, F, G, U prime, B2, U, L2, D2, E prime, D, B, L, D prime. So, ooh. L2, D, R2, D prime, L2, D, R2, D prime. This is kind of promising. D. Just do it again from here. So D prime R2 BC. RC D prime BC DC RC DC L prime D prime RC. Okay, I'm scrambled, that's fine. So D R2 D prime L2. Nope. D R prime. No. D R2 D prime L2. R2. No. Okay. Next. BC RC DU RC U prime BC DC RC DT L prime U prime RC U RC DT L prime U prime F U2 B prime L prime B L prime BT U F prime U prime F U F C D prime C U prime DT U LC. 10 minutes left. U prime D B L D prime R2. Okay, this is interesting. Something ending in B2. Can I do something ending in B2? No, that gives me 4 corners. Well, it starts with R2. No, not really. I can do this L2 U R2. No. U R2 U prime L2. It's 8 minus 0. So I'll put that as an option. 1, 1, 8 minus 0. L2 DU R2 U prime D2 D2 L2 D2 L prime U prime. L2. This looks useful for upcoming stuff here. Isn't this way harder than just using stickers and doing one move at a time to see if it's a good place to cancel moves? With 5 corners? No. Stickers with 5 corners is painful. Arnis is really good for stuff like this. L2. Okay. I don't have much time, so I'm just going to throw this insertion in. L2. U. R2. U prime. L2. U. R2. U prime. Nope. U R2. Oh, okay. Never mind. U R2 2. Yes. Yes. So that's good. So that actually does cancel. That's 8 minus, okay, U prime, U, 8 minus 4. That's really good. So if I swap around this D and this U, D, insert, U, R2, U prime, L2, U, R2, and then L2, L2 cancel, U prime, U cancel, and at the end I have 3 corners. Good. Now I can sticker it. Doing 2, 3 swaps with any numbers in order. Pain. It's only depends. Depends on what the skeleton is. L prime B R prime B2 U prime U prime F2 U F2 D prime F2 U prime B2 U prime D B L D prime F2 B2 U R2 U prime I could do this right at the end, but I have 5 minutes to check, so I'm going to check. 1, 2, red goes to red here is 3. E2 at the end, okay. That's not great cancellation if I do just throw it on the end. R prime B, R2, R prime B2, U, F prime, U prime, F2, U, F2, D prime, F2, U prime, B2, U, L2. U prime, U prime, D, E, L, D prime, R2, B2, U, R2, U prime, R2. Hi Maggie, how's it going? Should we 1 to 1 2, so U R2D U 2 D L2 U prime B2 D2 L prime U prime 2 U B2. So the best part is that I actually misscrambled again. So that's why I don't use stickers. Because I do that shit all the time. And now I have 2 minutes to write down U prime B prime U F. U prime B U F. U prime B prime U F prime solve. 34. 40 seconds to go. Now we say, thank you, stopwatch. You served us well. But how can we make it better? $34 is my final solution. Final score. Following the timer rule. However, now I grab the scramble and I grab my solution and I cut off the cycle and I ask Insertion Finder what I could have found. 32. So it was right at the start, so I probably could have found it as well. 32. That's not even that good, but I'm glad that I found that 8 minus 4 in the middle. R prime, U prime, F, G2, B prime, L prime, B, R prime, B2, U, F prime, U prime, F2, U, F2, D prime, F2, U, B, U, B2, L, U, R prime, E prime, F. D. It's telling me I can do R prime, U prime, L2, U, R, U prime, L2, U, R, okay. And U prime, B, L, D prime, R prime, B2, R2, B2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, B2, D2, R2, D2, yeah, okay. I would never have found that com. R prime, U prime, L2, U, R, U prime, L2, U. I should have found that com. But that's just a thing that I'm going to learn now. Okay. That's not awful. That is not awful at all. So after this B2, this is my com. After this R2. And then I can put in L2, U, and now I can see what Insertion Finder would find from that. 2 corner cycles. It gets a 32. So the 8 minus 4, yeah, B2, L2. So that was actually optimal. But I didn't find that insertion, which would have only saved 2 moves. Optimal was 32 from that skeleton. And I found a 34, which I'm actually pretty happy with. Now, I just post it to Fultian in the Discord, since he got a 35. W. Thanks for watching. Cheers.